Welcome to Click for IB Biology. This is the third video in our study of the concept of the niche, where we'll be looking at further modes of nutrition of organisms in our food chains and our food webs. There's a blank version of this PDF done in the description, and you can use that to annotate with your own notes as we go along. But then there are 10 questions with answers that you can use to evaluate your understanding of this particular topic. So the terminology will be new, but perhaps the concepts less so. So in the modes of nutrition that we want to consider here is the idea of the Holozoic nutrition, in which an organism consumes food, it passes through a digestive system to be eliminated with the waste product. The food is passing through a digestive system where it is subject to digestive enzymes before the products of that digestion are absorbed into the organism's circulatory system. The Holozoic mode of nutrition is not restricted to herbivores, but includes carnivores as well. Mixotrophic, and there's a clue in the mixing of trophic feeding modes. You can see that the images appear to show plants, and this of course is the famous Venus flytrap, and the other organisms which are shown are species of plants which are otherwise known as carnivorous plants or insectivorous plants. Now the mode of action of these organisms is to through their root system, if it's possible to obtain nitrates, then they will do so. However, they are adapted to, they are specialized to live on nitrogen-poor soils, and so they obtain their nitrogen by trapping the bodies of animals, such here we can see a fly being trapped. On the sundew, the sticky surface will often trap small flies. This plant here is a butterwort, which has a very different strategy. Down in its root system, it has these small pockets which have triggered lids on them, and when an organism, a microorganism enters there, the lid closes down. In all three cases, what then happens is that there is extracellular digestion of the animal body by proteases and so forth in order to obtain the nitrate necessary for amino acid synthesis and therefore to create proteins in their own growth. The third mode of nutrition that we would want to highlight is that known as the Saprotrophic mode of nutrition, in which organisms such as fungi and bacteria, they are able to break down the dead and decaying bodies of other organisms, and in this particular illustration we have a fungus which is breaking down the dead tree, and of course we know this as decomposition. Decomposition is not limited to the breakdown of dead plants but also of dead animals. We should be aware that when we see decomposers on tree trunks, as we see here, that these are just the fruiting bodies associated with the reproduction of the fungi, and the real digestion is taking place inside the structure through a series of hyphae and mycelium in the case of fungi, and extracellular digestion in the case of bacteria. So these are three ways of describing the nutrition mode of organisms in food chains and food webs. The next video in our niche topic is appearing on the left-hand link here. The center, can you please subscribe to the channel? That's very much appreciated. It's kind of motivating. And then on the right-hand side, we have the playlist with all the videos in this particular IB topic.